Hey guys, today we're taking a look at the Firefly Mk.I, one of the new British naval planes. Usually I don't show takeoffs in my videos, but I'm showing this one because the Firefly has amazing flap animations. It's so nice. I just had to show that. That Spitfire almost runs into me as I'm looking at my flaps, but it would be worth it because those flaps are just sexy. So, now we're going to skip ahead until we get into the action, which isn't going to take too long. So, a little bit later, here we are, up in the air at almost 3,000 meters, I believe, and there's quite a lot of Germans down low, so it's a good thing because up high we cannot catch them in this plane. But there's some nice targets here, and I can drop at them through the clouds and hopefully kill them. So, this BF-109, he probably doesn't know I'm coming for him. I can't see him myself either, so I missed my first shots, but there we go. Killed him. And that's the saving grace of this plane. It has those 4 Hispano 20mm cannons, which usually make short work of your enemies. The bad thing about this plane is that it is slow. It loses all its energy if you have to turn, and it just doesn't gain any energy back. So there's some more fighters around here, so I'm dodging them. P-47s. So it's all getting a little dangerous, but it's still manageable right now. I'm going to chase this P-47 down, hopefully be able to kill him, but there's already 2 teammates on him, so I'm not going to follow that any longer. So I'm keeping my head on the swivel here because I know that they can pull the same trick that I pulled on them, which is drop out of the clouds and catch me when I'm unaware. There's the P-47 over here, but he's pitching up, and I don't want to prop hang him because it'll leave me in a bad place. I probably wouldn't have been able to catch up to him anyway, so I'm going to dive down a bit, and yep, there's a BF-109 behind me. So I'm going to split S. That should make it hard for him to hit me if he decides to follow, but he doesn't. But every time you have to do these evasive maneuvers, especially in this plane, you're going to lose energy, and it's just letting them build a bigger and bigger energy advantage over me. And now there's already 3 guys right above me, so it's not looking too good, and all the rest of my team is also down low because they went for all the easy kills. So I have to stick down low with my teammates because in like a 3-on-1 fight, you're never going to win anything with this plane. It can do head-ons okay though. So that's kind of what I was hoping for, and I wasn't paying attention, and exactly what I was scared of happens. I get killed by someone who comes out of the clouds from behind me. So I'm on fire, so I'm diving down, trying to put it out. There we go, it goes out. I'm heading towards the secondary base, hoping these guys will leave me alone so I can land, but no. This BF-109 wants to finish me off. So I'm going to try to turn into him and dodge his fire and try to keep heading back towards the base because my engine is going to die pretty soon. But this BF-109 does not want to let me live. He's desperate to kill me, so I'm trying to force a head-on here, but because my engine's dying, I can't get it to go around. So he gets a few hits there, but thankfully I don't think his cannons hit me, just his machine guns. But he's still going for me, and as you can see, I mean, even if I was in optimal condition, I would have a lot of trouble fighting this thing, but with a broken engine and 2 damaged wings, and now also a damaged rudder, it's pointless pretty much. So I'm just hoping to make it back to base, but it's probably not going to happen. And here he comes for another pass, and I'm really a sitting duck now. I can't even get above 250 kilometers per hour. He's coming in fast, and there's really nothing I can do. So I'm going to try to dodge a little bit, but there we go. There goes my wing. So GG. So the second clip is just a short little clip, and it's about a crash landing. Surprise, surprise. I think I damaged my engine going head-on with something because that's the best tactic ever. And so I'm coming in for landing here. I've got a bit of sideways drift, so I have to compensate for that. And this also demonstrates something else, and that is the gear deployment speed of this plane is a lot lower than most other planes. you really have to be going pretty slow before you can deploy your gear, probably something like 250 kilometers per hour. So if you try to deploy them at 300 kilometers per hour, like I try here, it will rip them off. So, don't do that. Thankfully, they fixed, or well yeah, they changed the crash landing mechanics, so your plane is a lot sturdier during crash landings, and so I can walk away from this one. It breaks off one wing, but I do get to repair, so it's all good. But keep that in mind that the gear deployment speed is a lot lower for this plane than most other planes around this tier. Okay, and this is another clip, also pretty short because I'm gonna die. Spoiler alert. Anyway, we've been flying around for a little bit searching for targets, and finally we find some over this way. So I'm moving to engage. I mean, I'm hoping to get this B-25. This thing has a nice lot of cannons, so it's easy to take down a big target like that. But there's also several enemies up high and quite a lot more down low, so I already know at this point I'm probably not going to make it out of this alive. But we'll see if we can take at least one guy down with me, and hopefully more. So B-25's been set on fire, so I'm not going to go for him anymore. But there's some more juicy targets down here, so we'll see which one lines itself up the nicest for me to get. Keeping an eye on behind me. Don't want to get shot down straight away. Yeah, and another weakness, adding to the already pretty big list of weaknesses of this plane, is that it has a pretty low ammo count. Only 240 cannon shells in total, so that's 60 rounds per gun, which isn't a lot. But we found a nice target here, a Yak-9T. Put a good burst into him, but surprisingly it only gives him a smoking engine. Usually these cannons blast things out of the sky really easily. Another Yak-9T tries to kill me there, but thankfully he misses. So I can take a few more shots at this guy, get some more hits, another critical hit, and miss a few shots and it hits there, and now I'm already out of ammo. So that's a big problem with this plane, it runs out of ammo real quickly. So yeah, that Yak-9T was still trying to kill me. Thankfully my teammate got him. But I have to return to base now because there's nothing else I can do. So somehow I have to fly through this cloud of fighters and hope to be able to make it back to my base alive. These guys behind me, I think I've evaded their attention for now. But these guys to my right are going to be a problem. So there's guys to my left, there's guys behind me, and there's guys to my right. And as you can see, these guys are coming straight for me. I did get the kill on that Yak-9T, so that's nice. But now I have to dodge this 9T, and there's another P-39 coming in, and another Yak-9 behind him. So I'm going to have my work cut out for me. So I'm just dodging and dodging. This Yak-9T wants to kill me. But sadly he also has a P-39 buddy, and he shoots my wing off. So that's too bad. On to the next replay. So out of all the replays, this is probably the longest one. It's again on the alternate history Berlin map, so we're fighting the Russians. I've flown out towards one of our mini bases here because a lot of the times there will be bombers trying to bomb this mini base, so it's easy to intercept them, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm going to try to intercept any bombers who go for this base. Okay, there he is, B-25 I think, probably. Yep, B-25. P-51's diving on him, but if he doesn't manage to kill him, then I'll try to swoop in and finish him off. But this plane isn't very fast, so I'm going to probably have trouble catching up to a B-25 even. So this plane really doesn't have many strengths. And I mean, it's not made to be a fighter, I don't believe. It's more of an attack aircraft. But in War Thunder it's not very good as an attack aircraft because there's no point to killing light ground targets. It doesn't help your team, and it doesn't have the ammo to really kill any light pillboxes or anything, so kind of useless. So usually I just try to use it like a fighter. This Yak 9T is going for a head-on, so I fire burst, pull away, and I kill him. So if you ever fight a Firefly, do not go head-on with them. The chances are almost 100% that you will outperform him in pretty much every way. Except for in frontal firepower, so just don't do that. You can completely outclass him any other way. But so many people want to go head-on that I probably actually have a pretty good kill to death ratio in this thing just from going head on with everything, which is stupid. And that's pretty much what all this replay is. It's all me going head on with things. Because it's about to get even crazier. So I'm flying over back towards our base, over to this P-51, and following this P-63 I think it is. No, that's also a P-51. I'm following these guys. There we go, a B-25 shot down that other P-51, so I know that there's enemies over there. That's why I was flying in that direction. Now, as you can see, I'm trying to climb a little bit, but this plane doesn't climb very well at all, so kind of difficult. Keeping an eye out, checking to see if I see any more dots. I'm kind of worried because there's not a lot of our team going this way. Well, that F4U is also following me, so, but they're kind of behind me. I would rather actually be behind them so that I can engage people who are distracted, because that's what the Firefly is better at. If you get into a 1v1 engagement with something, chances are it will be able to outperform you. But if you can catch someone who is distracted, then your chances are better. But that's not going to be the case here, because I'm now too close to these enemies. If I turn around, they might be able to catch up to me. So basically, I'm committed. I'm going to go for this. I want to help my P-51 out, because he's also in a tough spot. Can't leave my teammates hanging. Sadly, they kill my P-51, so now their undivided attention is going to be on me. Yippee! Now in most planes I would pitch up here and try to have them stall out trying to get me, but sadly this plane doesn't have the performance for this, and there's another Yak 9 and an I-185 up high here, so I can't do that plan. So I'm just going to ignore these guys down low, hope they can't hit me, and go for some head-ons with these guys. This first Yak 9 well, he hits me, but thankfully the shots spark. I can't get any shots on him. But this I-185 is coming straight towards me, so guess what we do? Yep, we go head on. He tries to maneuver clear, but does it way too late. And I kill him. And there's another Yak 9K down here. He's trying to prop hang me, but I kill him. Sadly, another Yak 9 behind me sets me on fire. So I'm pretty much screwed. I'm out of ammo also, because this thing carries barely any ammo. Thankfully the fire goes out, and I'm heading towards my base. My engine is still fine actually, I just took a little bit of fuselage damage and light wing damage. I have a fuel leak, but for the rest I'm okay. Sadly this Yak 9 is not giving up, and he's coming for me again. So I'm trying to do some simple defensive maneuvers, but I want to get back towards my base so I have some AAA cover. And hopefully that scares him off or something, or the AAA would actually shoot him down. That'd be nice. He goes up, but he's coming straight at me again. But he's not that far away, so I can turn into him pretty easily. He does get a few hits there. I think he shoots one of my flaps off. And now he's trying too desperately to get me, but there's also a teammate coming to help me out now. So I'm trying to kind of do a rolling scissors with this guy. Just prevent him from getting guns on target, hopefully get him to overshoot or something, because this plane is slow, his plane is a lot faster than mine, so hopefully he underestimates how slow this plane is and overshoots, but I'm actually having trouble getting him to overshoot. Thankfully my teammate sets him on fire there, or was that AAA? I think it was my teammate. Either way, he gets nice and mad, and he starts calling someone a hacker, which I thought was pretty funny. And there we go, he's dead. And I'm still alive. So by going head on with things, I killed 3 enemy planes, and I somehow managed to survive that attack by the Yak-9U, who is now getting very mad in chat. Which is always fun to see. So I'm not going to land straight away, because that LA-7 is still pretty close, and chances are if he sees an easy target landing, he will try to kill it. So I'm taking my time here, making sure that the airfield is clear before I go for landing. So I think it's safe now. I'm not 100% sure, but that LA-7 does seem to be pretty busily engaged with my teammates over there, and there's 2 of my teammates, so hopefully they'll be able to keep him busy. So it's time for me to make my landing and get repaired. Of course, I spoke too soon. I see that Yak-9 gets spotted again, so I power up, and I'm gonna wait a little bit longer because that Yak-9 was closing pretty quickly. This is the new damage aircraft indicator thingy. You can kind of see the status of your plane. I don't think it's very useful. I mean, we already have the little paper doll on the left. I don't see why we needed this, but I don't know. Fancy colors, I guess. It's okay. Not quite sure what to think about it. So, can I make my landing now? Is it finally safe? Guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. But it should be. Hopefully I remember this time that the gear deploy speed is a lot lower, so that I don't rip off my gears. There we go. No gear ripping this time, sorry guys. And that should mean we can make a decent landing. Yeah, nothing wrong with that landing. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Slowing her down. And spin it around. There we go. Mr. Navigator sitting behind the pilot in his little cage. He's all happy. So it's all good. So we've landed, we're repairing and rearming, and then we can get back into the action.
Cover me! If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win. Okay, reloading.
And here we can see that one of our teammates shot down the LA-7. So that's good news for us. Another enemy down. And we can go hunting for the last guys. Sadly, the Yak-9, I think it was, set one of our teammates on fire, so that's not good. And he shoots him down. So I'm gonna fly that way to try to help out the P-63. So the P-63 just shot down the Yak-9T, so that's good. And as I look to the left here, I see a dot up high. And it's probably a bomber, because if you can spot a dot from far away, then it's usually a bomber. You can see those from a greater distance. So I'm gonna head that way and try to tail him. It's gonna take me a long time to be able to climb up that high, because this plane doesn't climb very well. But I'm at least gonna try to stay in range of its dot so that I can tell my teammates where he is. So that if I can't get him, at least my teammates will be able to shoot him down. So this plane is actually kind of similar to the Hurricane Mark 1C, or the Sea Hurricane, because like the Hurricane, it's actually the flight performance isn't very good. Almost everything will climb better than it, turn better than it, and have better energy retention than it. These planes can turn decently, but they'll bleed a lot of speed doing it, and then they'll be defenseless. So yeah. but they have good guns, and sadly enough, that actually will help you do pretty well, because so many people are just willing to go head on with you, which is kind of sad, but that's just the way it is. So I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit until we get closer in range of this this bomber. I'm telling my teammates here that I see that I've got eyes on him. Accidentally do it in old chat, so now he also knows, but it doesn't really matter that much. Because I know I'm gonna have a lot of difficulty climbing up to this guy, so hopefully my teammate will be able to catch him. So we're gonna skip ahead a little. So we've been climbing for a little while now, and we're pretty close to the TU2, it turns out to be. And my P63 teammate is also closer now. So he's gonna start to engage now. He's taking some very, very long range shots. And he's kind of prop hanging, but sadly he misses them all. As you can see, I can't climb any faster than this really. I'm already having trouble. So I'm just hoping that eventually I can catch him. But it's taking a lot of effort. As you can see, I can barely catch up to this guy. So even bombers will outclimb you in this plane. That's kind of what it feels like. Probably not true. He's starting to turn now, so that might give me an opportunity. So I'm using the little arrow indicator. You can see it at the top of the screen to kind of keep track of where he is, so that I can make a nice smooth turn without having to use the keyboard. And he's diving now, so that gives me means I might be able to catch up to him eventually. I can try to put in a few shots here, but it's kind of long range, so I'm not hitting, I mean. And the P63 sets him on fire, so that's great. I give him an awesome, and we're gonna check if the fire keeps burning. If it does, I'm gonna leave him alone. Don't want to take the risk of getting shot, and that P63 deserves the kill, so sadly he puts it out, so that means I'm gonna have to move in to finish him off. And now he's trying to maneuver or something. I'm not quite sure what this bomber is trying to do, but it's making it a lot easier for me. Thankfully this time the guns work perfectly, and we chop off a wing just like that. Easy kill. So I'm thinking I'm gonna head over towards their base now, see if we can find the last guy, but apparently he was already dead. You can see it in the score sheet that he does have a death next to his name, but he is still in the game. So I thought maybe he had managed to repair it or something, but he didn't, so game over and we win. So that was 4 kills with the Firefly, which is quite an achievement. 3 of them were by going head on, which, yeah, is about all this plane is good at, really. It's good at catching people off guard and going head on with them. But it helps give me some nice RP, which is going to unlocking the second Firefly and unlocking some nice upgrades for this one, which probably won't make the plane that much better, but all little bits of performance are useful. And here we go. You can see I already have some upgrades for this thing. I got some bombs, some engine upgrades, and now I'm just trying to look at which ones will give me the most bang for the buck. And eventually I decide to go, not quite sure, for this one because it's cheap. I can almost unlock it in one go. Gives me some more speed. And this clip is just me using the Firefly as a ground attacker. I'd already shot down a JO-87 earlier in the match, and now most of the enemies were dead, so I decided to try and do some ground attack. I have what is it, 2 500-pound bombs or something? So I'm trying to manually bomb, but I'm not very good at that. As you can see, I missed. So I also loaded up the ground target ammo for the Hispanos, which should be able to kill a light pillbox. And there we go, I'm getting some hits, so so that's good. Gotta be careful not to slam into the ground there. But it pretty much takes all my ammo just to be able to kill one light pillbox, and that's what makes this plane so worthless as a ground attacker, because these shots just do nothing. Because light pillboxes and tanks are usually the only things that count towards bleeding the tickets of the enemies, so those are really the only useful ground targets to attack. And if you can only kill one of them, then there's not really much point. The P-51 is a better ground attacker in that sense, because with its 50 cal ammo it can take out lots of light pillboxes. Oh, there we go. I killed it, but I have only something like 31 shells left. So that's nowhere near enough to do anything. So I put them into this light pillbox, but the game is pretty much already over now anyway, so get a few more hits. And there we go, hostile team lost all its vehicles. So as a ground attacker, this plane is also kind of useless. So yeah, mixed feelings about this plane. It's okay to play, but it's not really good at anything, and it's not something I'm gonna come back to and play more often. But the quad Hispanos do make it usable at least. So, thanks for watching guys, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye!